Hello, everyone. So today we're going to talk about partnerships, referrals, and co-ops.
Let's get down to business. Give you one more night to get this. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business.
Things that I have been very successful in is doing doctor partnerships and being partnered with doctors and hospitals. So how this came to be is I said to myself, well, we are targeting Medicare audience, so our target market is going where? Where can I reach the most of them with the most efficiency? And so I thought of common sense, doctor's offices. All of your grandmothers, parents, or grandfathers are going to, and schedules revolve around their doctor's offices. So when I formulated my marketing business plan, that's exactly what I decided to do. So let's talk a little bit more about that program exactly and how one goes about doing it. Okay, so how do I get started? One of the first things that you want to do is get a list of primary doctors, anywhere from 50 to 100. Okay, now the reason that I say this is because you don't want to waste time doing all different practices when everybody has to see their primary. So let's start with that. Okay, now once you do visit a primary, then you can visit all the neighboring doctors, but in order to save time and be the most efficient of where you're going to reach the most people is going to be those primary doctors. Okay, so once you have your list of your local 50 to 100, and you'll be surprised, there's a lot more than that depending on where you live. The next part is planning your route. Okay, again, we were all about efficiency and what we'd like to do, so is get your route in order. See which doctor's offices you're going to visit. Make sure that's organized, or else you will waste a lot of time. At the same time as making sure you have goals, meaning today I'm going to visit these 20 doctors, these 30 doctors. Okay, because if you start going kind of on the cusp and go where you want, then you start losing out on opportunities and you start getting demotivated if things don't go well. So try to always make sure that that is what you're doing. Okay, so now, what do we do when we're in a doctor's office? So what we're going to go over is the interactions. Okay, first interaction, introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Bryan. I work as a Medicare broker, helping your patients or being able to help your patients with all their Medicare insurance needs. Now, this is a simple introduction. Again, many doctor's offices are busy, as well as given what's going on, not very open to having long conversations. Okay, so always keep it short and simple. Okay, at the same time, you always want to make sure you have things prepared before your doctor's visits and this interaction. So what that'll be card holders. Make sure you have your business cards there. CMS materials, like choosing your Medigap. Okay, this is very important that you order the CMS materials as well as any other CMS literature, and you want to brand it. There's designated sections on the back of the books where you can put a label or staple your business card where you can be the local representative because these are materials that you can leave in doctor's offices. Nowhere in doctor's offices are you allowed to pick up a book and leave with it. Many times you'll see Home and Garden, you'll see Sports Illustrated, you'll see the Times magazines or newspapers. All of those stay there and get recycled through. Well, what we're offering to leave is CMS material, branded with you as the agent, that the patients can pick up and take with them. Okay, so very little resistance is ever going to be met when you go into a doctor's office. You introduce yourself and you say your introduction as well as offer to leave the materials behind. Okay, these materials are, trust me, going to get a ton of leads and a ton of referrals, and they will be gone. Okay, now, another important thing that gets asked is, who do I talk to? Okay, do I need to talk to a doctor? No, you do not. You want to talk to the first person who's there at the window. Majority of the time, that front desk lady or gentleman is the person who's going to know and have a great relationship with all of their patients, our potential clients. Okay, they're the people that are going to pass out our cards. They're the people that are going to be answering the questions when the patients come up and have questions about Medicare. Okay, so don't be discouraged. You don't have to look. Some of our best referral partnership with doctors' offices that send us 50 to 100 leads a year, I've never even met the doctors. So it's making sure that you don't discredit or disvalue just who could be that secret gem in that office. So anybody from the billers to the office managers to the receptionists can all add value, and those are the people of interest that you want to. So now in that first interaction, we're leaving business cards, we're leaving CMS branded material, and we made that short, quick introduction, okay? Now we go on. You don't want to spend any more than 5 to 10 minutes in a doctor's office during that first interaction, okay? Second visit, the second interaction. There's multiple ways to approach this, but I guarantee you the most vital one is they are added all those materials that you left. Patients love the stuff that they can take, love educational material about Medicare because to them it's the most confusing thing. So we use that as an opportunity. Okay, when I go visit the second doctor's office, what we'll say is we'll try to create a sense of urgency. So we'll say, doctor and another doctor that we work with, Dr. Smith or whoever's next door, called us because they needed some more materials. I see that you're out of the CMS booklets. I'm just here to drop off a couple more. Here's a couple more of the business cards. And any other questions, we're your local Medicare resource or brokers. Okay, this way you're reestablishing exactly what you do, you're providing a value by leaving them some materials, and you're associating yourself with the other doctors that are neighboring by saying you were dropping by this doctor, Dr. Smith, who ran out of booklets, who needed a service, okay? Also, that from person, if it's a different person that you're speaking to, that the initial interaction individual isn't there, then assume the sale. This is an approach that I teach my staff and what I mean by that is when you engage them, say, hello, I'm here because I'm your Medicare agent. I am your Medicare resource, and I am here to drop off materials, as you can see, that are now gone. So I'm just leaving this right here on the front desk, and I have to go see Dr. Smith next because they are out of materials as well. Okay, at this point, they might engage and say, well, wait a second, what do you mean you're our Medicare referral partner? And so at that point is when you introduce yourself again, you say exactly what you do, how we provide value to the doctor's office by alleviating all those Medicare questions and guiding them and directing them to us. Okay, so this is how we assume the sale, and it works great because many people say, oh, perfect, I didn't know. And then you can point out, my cards are right there. Again, reiterating that you've been there and you are their Medicare referral resource. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is what happens now. Now we wait. We give it around a week or two. Okay. And now we're going to do that third visit. Okay. That third visit, the approach we want to have is take that time and consider what's going to leave a lasting impact. So what's going to make it memorable? So this is where, if you have any clients already that see those doctors that have been to those offices, use them as your resource. Utilize what they have to offer. So sometimes you may notice a pattern. I might have written 6 or 7 Medicare plans and all of the primaries was this Dr. Smith. Well, contact that Medicare beneficiary or your client and say to them, listen, would you mind giving your doctor a call, just letting know that I'm working with you, that I was able to help you? Some of them will be so excited and so happy and say, yes, I've known Donna in the front office for all these years. I'll call them right now, Brian. Not an issue, not a problem. Okay, so use the partnerships that you have to solidify that so that when you go visit them, now you have a connection, something that helps you solidify and get in the door. Okay. Once doctors' offices are referring and you are getting a stream of referrals, this is when we like to, again, offer a care package. So what I do is we get custom bags made with our company name. We get pens that we get from the local doctor's offices. Now these pens that we're going to get, from the carriers to give the doctor's offices are going to be from any of the companies that you guys are selling or you guys are promoting, company A, company B, company C. Any of these carriers, they all have local reps that will supply you with their branded material. So whether it be pens, clipboards, pads, okay, drug reps used to supply offices with these all the time, but that, when the laws changed a few years ago, now these doctors aren't getting any of those, and drug reps can't supply all of that stuff. So that gives us an opportunity to compliantly and legally offer these as a thank you package. So we give them pads, we give them pens, and so routinely with the ones that are continually referring, we'll have somebody from the office go and drop by, reintroduce ourselves, making sure we're keeping that connection so that it's constantly turning over leads. Okay, what's very important as you're doing this process is create a spreadsheet, create some kind of way to keep record of the doctor's offices that are referring to you, the doctor's offices that you visited, and then to take it a step further, some of the Medicare Advantage plans that they accept and don't accept. For example, in some areas, you might have 2 different Medicare Advantage plans offering. And so what I'll do is I'll put a spreadsheet together. When I walk into that doctor's offices, I'll say, hi, I have a beneficiary who's interested in using you as their primary doctor. It might be Jane Doe, okay? And she's looking into Company A's HMO. First of all, do you guys accept that? Now, when you show them this kind of information and the fact that you're going above and beyond, it provides a relationship and value. You always want to be value for the doctor's office. Okay, so you want to provide that value, and when they see, or when they say, okay, well, have you speak to the biller, because they're the ones in charge of this, they'll let you know the insurances that they accept. Now you're building another connection where if they do run into it, you kind of go ahead and say, well, what other insurances do you accept? This way, if I have any more of my clients who are recommended from your office, we make sure we direct them in things that you accept. Okay, all of this is not only building your credibility, but also helping you establish a good rapport with the doctors and what's in their offices. So those are quick little steps that'll help you. And again, a little summary of these approaches are always use techniques like assuming the sale, always be nice, always be smile, and confidence. Confidence goes a long way in this industry, okay? You don't have to know all the answers, but just the way that you communicate is going to help you with the people in the front desk. It's going to help you. If they feel that you are the person of resource for them, then that's the best way to go. Okay, now, next step on what we do is we build the hospitals. Getting partnerships with hospitals. Now, that might sound really, really hard. How do I talk to a hospital? How do I get the hospital? Okay, well, as you're going along and getting all these partnerships with doctors' offices, okay, get letters of recommendation. If I have a doctor where I've taken care of 30, 40 of their patients, then I'm providing value. And if half of those, 15, are telling the doctor, Bryan has been great, I appreciate the referral, he's taken care of everything I needed, then don't you think that doctor or that doctor's office, doesn't have to be the doctor because they're very busy, could be an office manager or secretary or biller, just writes a letter of recommendation on their letterhead. Now imagine this. Now I have a binder or portfolio that has 30, 40 primary doctors in the area that all participate in one hospital, that all are writing letters of recommendation, willing to put their practices' names on the line for the value that I bring. Now, when I contact hospital administration and I say I would like to partner or be a Medicare outlet or resource for you guys, it gives you a million times more credibility. It gets you in the door if you're able to get a doctor to vouch for you. Okay, so now when I'm sitting with the hospital administrator or decision makers and I show them these are all the doctors that I work with, these are all the letter of recommendations, there is very little resistance once you get to that point. Okay, now when you are partnered with a hospital, game changer. Okay, every doctor that participates or is run by the hospital, owned by the hospital, uses them for surgeries, will get an email saying you are their Medicare partner. Now, this is where, again, having a system in place, making sure in your office, if you guys have any employees, okay, get a pattern down. Make sure you get a list of all the doctors that are going to get emailed, follow up, visit them. Now your interaction is completely different. Now your interaction is, we are the Medicare resource for the hospital, whether it be hospital A, hospital B. Okay, you should have received an email. Any questions, any things you may want answered, here's our cards. Let us know. We are your Medicare resource. We'll be dropping by routinely, giving you guys supplies. But now you have the backing of the hospital. They will never say no to you if you have the backing of a hospital who might own the practice or work closely with the practice. Okay, so these are very vital steps and will help expand your business today and moving on in the future, because everybody and our clientele see doctors and their schedule revolves around doctors. Now, other referral programs, again, that was the doctor networking and the hospital networking, that add a lot of value are things such as churches, things such as senior centers, okay, being able to offer Medicare 101s, educational events. Now, another approach that has been kind of taken off for the last 2-3 years with my company that has worked very well is everybody is willing to offer an educational event. Every agent. Everybody wants to do a dinner, wants to offer this, but what value are you bringing to those communities? If I go to senior citizens 55 and older community and I say, listen, I'm going to provide a free luncheon, I want to do an educational event on Medicare, that's what everybody is saying. So how can we add value that differentiates us? And so a program that I came up with is start by giving before you ask. So we contact 55 and older communities and we say, are there any events that we would like to sponsor? We would like to promote awareness in the community. Is there an event we can run every single day? And so we say to them, is there anything we can donate? And then if we are offering, the very little times are they going to say no to wanting to get money, wanting to get value. And in return, what we are saying is, let us be there. Let us set up a table. Let us put our logo as the sponsor, since we are sponsoring it. And in return, after that's done, you're going to get, again, very little resistance to being their Medicare partners, being able to do Medicare 101s and many more opportunities and things like that. So that approach has worked very, very well. And again, for some completely new who don't have the marketing expenses, I don't want to discourage doing the traditional route of offering the luncheons and things like that. But if you do have the marketing budget, that's definitely a great approach. You want to be. Sometimes some events will get to the newspaper. Okay, and if you're one of the sponsors, that will help brand you significantly. Okay, so those are some of the partnerships that can also expand in other things that we do. And another important thing that many agents are not educated on, do not understand the value in, are co-op opportunities. And what this is where you are receiving help for your marketing budget. You're receiving help for any kind of promotional things that you're doing to help sell. And where is this help coming from? This is coming from the carriers. The carriers want you to sell their product. We want to sell their product. We want to get compensated. So how do we get that symbiotic relationship to work is by different co-ops. Now, many agents are not aware of this, but carriers have local representatives. Okay, these are the ones that train you during the year, that send you all those emails with webinars and meeting points at restaurants to go over their things. Well, every year they're given a budget of money that they are supposed to use to help the agents to sell. Now, there's many opportunities that you can approach them and do a co-op, a marketing co-op. Let's say you want to do a lead drop. Say you want to do 10,000, but in your budget, maybe you only have 2,000 and the cost is 5,000. Well, put together a sheet, and I have detailed in the slides, you guys will be able to see where you'll put that exact request. Tell them what is the amount the funding that I need, What is it used for? For the direct mailers. What is the cost? This is what I'm going to contribute. Okay, would you guys be willing to contribute this? These are the expected sales. Okay, every year, these representatives get a budget. Portion of that you can get by doing these things. Many agents are not aware of this and don't know this. Now, obviously, I'm not going to ask for $1 million. They do want to see that sales are being done, but if you do the sales, you do meet your goals, then they will do this again and again and again. This is a great way to get money from companies and from carriers and lower your expenses while gaining a ton of leads. So just always keep that in mind, okay? And so those are the programs that are very, very important that will help add value to any Medicare business, whether it be the doctors, whether it be the contributing or getting a hospital network, and knowing that the co-ops are there and available for you, okay? Carrier representatives, again, I will say this one more time, carrier representatives make bonuses and make compensation based on your performance. So they want to encourage you to do it. They want to help you. So use that resource, okay, in all aspects, whether it be monetarily, financially. Now, obviously, they won't disclose it because some of the bigger sellers will get a large portion of that money. But being educated and knowing that it's there for you is already steps and leaps abound what the average agent knows. So I hope this was all helpful for everybody and to add value, and I look forward to answering some questions you guys may have at the Q&A session. Thank you very much, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.